Welcome, YouTubers. This is Stranded Deep. It's a single-player point-of-view game, and you're trying to survive on these Pacific islands. I see a shark out there, and I started on this island back here, and I actually went one island. This is sort of the southeast direction. Direction's kind of important when you play this game. You can get confused pretty quickly. But I started on this island. I came over here, and this is where I kind of set myself up a camp. I've explored and exploited most of that island up there, that island to the north, I'll call it. And there's an island out to the west that I've done. So what you need to do in this game to survive, and this is about survival, there's a lot of videos that will go step by step, and you start off with a very basic raft. I've upgraded. I go out to these shipwrecks, and I got some balls, some floating balls, and put some wood together, and that's how I get from island to island. You can see I've collected a lot of wood. And so let me just skip over a little bit here, because the important things on this game are rocks, and I don't have too many rocks. I squandered some of my rocks, but rocks are important to make sharp instruments, and ultimately like to make a crude axe and stuff like that, so you can chop down trees. Takes 4 rocks to make a crude axe, but it's always important to keep rocks, and rocks are not renewable. So when you go to an island, although I've seen a few wash up, I think, unless I missed them on that north island, but they're not very abundant. So they'll go into fire pits, and when you build these solar collectors over here, solar stills, they'll use rocks. And so that's pretty much how you're going to probably have to go island to island to keep tabs of those rocks. Although there is, if I pull up the inventory, a stone tool, which will cut down stuff. That's what you originally have to build when you first build the game. You got to get a couple rocks and build a stone tool. Then you can cut down, trees and plants and stuff like that. So most of this things like these, this is a crude axe. It requires 4 stones to make 2 stone tools and some wood and maybe some lashing. But you see these have a durability meter. This one happens to be fresh. But they wear down as you cut out stuff, so I wasted a lot of rocks cutting down trees and stuff. But this stone tool doesn't have it. It just takes, instead of like 8 cuts to knock down a palm tree or to split apart a log, it takes like 30 cuts. So it takes a while, but eventually you're gonna have to do that when you get low on rocks. I do have a couple rocks I should deposit down into my pile. The other real important items to have are TARPS initially, although I've got an abundance of TARPS, and buckets or pails. You can use drinkable coconuts as a 1 serving type drinking utensil, but the buckets hold 5, and you also need a bucket if you want to build a solar still. I got 3 solar stills out there, or any other types of stuff, and the tarps are needed for the solar still, rocks are needed for a solar still, so you need some of these solar stills to get water. Because here's my watch. It's 9:30 in the morning. I'm on the 24th day. But when I got this meter here, health is on the left, sleep is on the right. Those aren't terribly important. They will run. The sleep will run down, and eventually, after 3 or 4 days, you'll have to sleep. Same thing with the second column, which is eating food, and you can last about 3 days before this, on average, before this bar runs down, but the water will run down in a day, so you have to constantly be looking for water. So the buckets are kind of nice because you can build these solar stills over here with the blue tarps, and they'll collect water very slowly. There is an option to build a campfire and a spit and use a couple pails and a tarp, and you can cook the water with wood. That comes much quicker, but you're always expending wood, whereas these are self-regenerating. The other way, if it happens to rain and you have an empty bucket in your arsenal, you can put it down on the ground and it will fill up for the most part. So rain is your friend, so you should have a couple buckets available. Because water runs down every day. You need about 6 units of water, 6 servings of water a day. I built this fire here, and I put a platform over the top of it, and that's what I used for primary cooking. I tried this one over here, it wasn't as good, but this guy back here is a smoker, and smoker's pretty cool because when you kill boars or fish or snakes even, you can make smokable meat that won't. The problem with normal meat and cooking it, and same thing with your potatoes and stuff like that, is that it will go rancid on you or spoil. So I've got a whole pile of meat over here. So the pigs will regenerate themselves every once in a while. I don't know how often that is, but I've seen that island actually regenerates 2 pigs. So when I go over there, I'll bow them down, and it takes 4 arrows or 4 spears, and then you skin them with a knife, and you cook them in the smoker, and I got a whole pile of meat there. So I'm really good. I'm trying to become self-sufficient here. I've planted some of these trees here because fruit, and it looks like the trees and the coconuts. A lot of people said the coconuts regen, but I haven't seen them regen yet. And the trees, I haven't seen the palm trees regrow either. So those are all consumable resources. So let me go ahead and walk around a little bit here. Walk down my hammer and a hoe are kind of important, because a hammer, you can build structures like this. I've got a little hut, get myself out of the thing. Of course, you collect on these islands, you collect anything that you can. And the other hoe that I created is good for building these guys over here, which is kind of newer to the game, but you can get fruit from it. You can see I got a fruit right there. Let me see if I'm low. I'm low on food, so I'm going to eat a fruit here out of my interact with it, eat it, and it will grow back. It just requires water all the time. Let me see if I got a fruit on this one yet. Nope, I must have ate it. This side's got a fruit too. So let me go ahead and take that one, eat that one. My food meter's come back up to full. My water's full. Everything's full. Like I said, I got a ton of coconuts. I'm going to take a little trip. Here's one of my solar stills. My bucket has full of water. I got to drop these rocks, so let me run over here where my rock pile is. Drop those. Very important to have a small supply of those rocks. Get as big a supply as you can. Lashings are really easy to make. You get palm trees and these yucca plants. Yucca plants regrow all the time. Let me take a little run around my island here. I don't know why that graphic train is doing what it's doing in that area. Normally it runs like this, so I got some kind of graphics issue going on. Maybe my recorder graphic. See, I took a coconut from here as a trial. Never growing back. I don't see the fruit growing back. So you can cut down everything on these islands. So like I said, I'm good for 3 days minus water, and I've got water in my buckets. You can always get water from a coconut. You can break it apart and you can drink the water, and then you can break it apart again and eat it for food. So here's my smoker, and you just take wood, you put it in there, you use this little kindling to start a fire. I'm not going to show you today. There's my pile of meat. Lots of meat. So let me go ahead and cruise to another island, because a lot of this is trivial, just surviving, breaking it apart. You can also deep dive these wrecks, which is pretty cool. I haven't done a whole lot of that yet. So let me interact with the sail. And then this guy, ooh, maybe he's stuck on the beach. Yeah, I think he's stuck on the beach. So let me jump off. No problem. And you can drag stuff around, so let me drag this, carry it out a little bit. Just to go over that island that I've been scavenging. I've been busy some of my days doing that. Hold interact, and I'm going to go backwards with my ship here. And it's okay, you can go frontwards or backwards. That's not the island I want to go to. You got to be careful when you dive the wrecks, because you can run out of air. That's pretty simple to do. Or you can run into sharks, which will impact your health. So far, like I said, I haven't done too many wrecks, because you just collect oddball stuff like flashlights, lanterns, boat parts, propeller engine parts. But as you can see, with just a sail, that's another reason you need a tarp, is for a sail. I did need to go dive to get the balls that are on the bottom of this. Now, there's a little bit, all the islands look the same, but there's a little bit of glitch, and then all of a sudden you get, this is actually the way it's looking. All of a sudden you get the real island, and you can see I've cleared all the trees off of this one already. But I haven't cargoed them all back here. There's almost no reason to do that. But if I ever needed to go get some more wood and stuff, been busy over on this island. And so this is how you get more resources to survive. Eventually, if you ever run low on rocks, you either need to use the stone tool to craft stuff, or you need to go find a new island. So let me just pop up on this island. There we go, made it across. I got a couple lashings, and I got all these trees that I cut down, but you got to break apart these trees. I got wood. Oh, I got a few coconuts. Like I said, I've ravaged most of this island. I really want to run and see if the hogs regenerated. Take some meat, smoke it. Pretty barren. No, I'm not seeing any hogs yet. This is a rather large island. So it took a lot of time to clear it. Nothing's really growing back. Let's run around here. I left all the tops, the palm tops over here. Don't really need those a lot, maybe for walls and stuff, but if I ever need them, I can come back and get them. You can see this one's still got a trunk attached here. Took a lot of the ficuses. So yeah, I'm not going to see a hog on this island. I don't see one running around. There's a crab. So I can get my trusty spear out, I guess. I also keep some spears. And right click and... Oh. Not so good with the spears. There we go. And so, yeah. And switch to the knife, skin it. You get a little meat. Driftwood does seem to come back. Like I said, I gotta go explore those wrecks. So the hog is very much similar, except for instead of one shot, you need 4 shots. I'm going to run back. I'm going to fill up my inventory. Jet back to my main island. Put that meat on the smoker. Probably call it a day here. But this is how you survive. Let's see, what am I going to take today? I'm going to take some wood. Let me just fill. You got 4 spaces per inventory slot. So yeah, I'll take them in groups of 4. The logs take up more than one. My inventory, I got room for, as soon as I put this one away. Oh, I never put those lashings down. I didn't really plan this trip quite as well as I could have. But let me try to grab some big logs here. See if it... Nope, not going to let me grab the logs. It kind of is independent on that one. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So what the heck, I'll grab some coconuts. Grab 8 of those. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Take away that. And there we go, I'm full on the backpack. If you try to put anything on this, at least on this raft, it's not very buoyant. So if you ever try to put a pig or something on it, it just sinks. Sure, if you get the raft big enough. So let me drag it out here. Oh. Now you can always right click and drag stuff. I'm going to drag it out a little bit here to get it in the water. Go forward, jump on board. Space key, interact. Come on, interact. This time I'll go forward. So you can see my hut in the distance over there. And you can go through the night. You know, it takes, you can go like 3 days before sleep and food. And if you get food, such as those coconuts, food and water, you can go even longer. Some of the visual distance isn't so good on this game. This is built by a couple people in Australia or something, a couple programmers. So it's kind of a neat game, kind of a nice game for not a big development team. kind of a unique. There's lots of stuff, like I said, you can build and explore, and content changes over time. And obviously, if they make it tougher to get stuff, it would be really harder game. But it's got some challenges as it is right now. So let me get this up on the beach here. Come in with pretty good speed. Let me right click, drag on it. Oh, that didn't work. What am I doing here? Sometimes you need to grab on this part. There we go. So let me run over to my coconut pile. And you can see the solar still has got some water by the time it came back. Let me drop these. Alright, what else do I got? Oh, normal wood. There's wood and driftwood. Oh. So let me put my wood pile over here. Plenty of wood. Matter of fact, let me hold 4 of them because I gotta put them in the fire. So let me drop one more. Now these fires will take up to 4 woods. Oh, this one might have been already. I might have already filled this one. But I can just hold it. Yeah, I already had some wood in there. Sun is going down. If you got a lantern or a flashlight, they call it a torch in this game. That's a little bit helpful. So let me drop. What you have to do to get the meat in here is drop it, and then pick it up, and you can just left click to shoot it in there. And then let me go ahead and get the kindling. Light the fire. It's not very exciting. I'm sure they have better ways of lighting fires, like you might be able to get a lighter or something, but this is the most primitive way. So it takes the longest, and there we go. So that'll cook. I think it takes a little while, a few hours, 6 hours or something to smoke it. I can drop that kindling back off. Let's go see the crafting menu. You got to build one of these shelters to do saving and sleeping, or a bed. But I find the shelter to be easy enough. So I got rocks over here. I know it's getting hard to see. So let me go ahead and craft. If I go to my crafting menu, there's shelters, lashing, stone tool. That requires 2 rocks. I've only got 6 rocks left. So you just craft it and it drops it. So let me try to craft a lashing. Nope, no fibrous plants. And this spit, I didn't find that to be very useful. You can put a spit over a campfire, but you can only put one thing on it. It's a lot easier to build a foundation, and you need a hammer to build a foundation, but then you can drop potatoes. I should show you the potato plant. This distiller, the water distiller I didn't find particularly great either. I just use solar stills, smoker. I haven't got a can to do a hobo stove yet, but I definitely use arrows and bows. That's the easiest way to get the hogs because they run around, although you can use crude spears in a pinch. There's your building stuff. You need to arm yourself with a hammer before you can pick these building stuff, but it's not very complex. Rafting stuff, floors, bases, propulsion. Here's where the hose with the plot came in, and you can do some medical stuff. So let me talk about the potato plants. I had one right around here. I know there's 2. The potato plants grow back pretty quickly. There's a wild potato plant. So let me chop it down. Should be some potatoes. Yeah, there's a potato. There should be 3 potatoes. Can't see a darn thing around here. So let me... Well, what I do to cook those when you don't have a spit is you just put them on top here. I thought this would be a way to self-preserve. I'm really looking for a way to self-preserve in this game, but I find it's probably easier to water and grow the fruit because these potatoes spoil on you. And so if you got really, I guess a strategy would be to get low on food. I'm not low on food right now. I'm actually full on food. And then use wood. I might have filled this one up too. Well, it doesn't matter. I'll pick up 4. I'll light a fire over here. Oop. Now it's taking them. So I might have cooked some potatoes before. But even after you cook the potatoes, they'll spoil too. So you gotta be, you know, make it worth your while for 4 logs. Or 3 logs or whatever it takes to cook. Ideally you could even cook it on 2 logs. But your timing's gotta be pretty good on that. Let's go light. Maybe I'll be able to see the other potatoes. Alright, beautiful. There's my other potatoes. Sometimes you can see really well at nights, other times you can't, especially if you're in the shadows. Sometimes there's better moonlight than another, I guess that's what I'm saying. So let me drop these. Pick them up. Put them on fire. Step back a little. So those should cook. But like I said, I happen to have 2 potato plants. That's the reason why I originally stopped in this spot, is the potato plant right there, and there was another potato plant right here. Let me do it with a stone tool so I'm not wasting my axe. You can see it takes a lot more chops. There we go. I'll just drag this one at a time. What the heck? But these are pretty much all going to go to waste because I don't have the food available, and they'll probably spoil by the time I have the food available in a few days. But the potato plants grow back like in a day or something. Kind of ridiculous how quickly they grow back. So it's kind of a strategy for sustainability, but you are using wood and fire. Meat is also another way, but the pigs don't come back very quick either. You would starve to death if you were just going to use pigs. And actually, I don't know how many of these fruit things you would need, but between a combination of the 3 or 4 things, you can always go fish in this manner too. But you better go catch a bunch of fish. So I'm going to let those cook. I'll let those cook. And that was a journey over to the other island. Island in the distance, and then you just find odd stuff to do. But pretty easy to survive in this game, but you got to use your stuff in the right manner. I showed you kind of the shortcut cheating way. Damn bats. I don't know if you can hear them. But alright, I'm going to end the video here. Interesting game, worth your time, and get it on Steam, cheap, $15 or something like that. I don't know where they're going with it eventually. Maybe you get rescued, maybe you don't. It's kind of ever-changing game. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Got any questions, let me know. And I'll see you.